Hi everybody, myself Anita here and I'm one among the members of the group 6. First let me introduce the members Adarsh, Ajay Lakshmi, Bharat, Abin, Harish, Vishwajit and Rohit. I'm going to present before you the topic real-time system and its types, namely soft real-time system and hard real-time system. Let's move on to the topic in detail. What is real-time system? As the data in the PowerPoint shows, it is a time-bound embedded system which is well defined and gives required output in a specified time, or which strictly follow the time deadline for completion of a task. That is, in a real-time system, in addition to functional correctness, also satisfies the time constraints. Processing must be done within the defined constraints, or the system will fail. They either are event driven or time sharing. Event driven systems switch between tasks based on the priorities, while time sharing systems switch the tasks based on clock interrupts. There are primarily two types of real time systems: soft real time system and hard real time system. Soft real-time system is a real-time system in which the violation of the constraints will cause only the degraded quality, but the system can continue to operate. These are much less constrictive compared to hard real-time system, but the basic premise is same. That is, critical process need to be completed within given time frame. However, this time frame can be a little flexible. In soft and real-time system, the design focus is to offer a guaranteed bandwidth to each real-time task and to distribute the resources to the task. The examples of soft real-time system are microwave oven, washing machine, TV remote, etc. Next, we move on to the topic hard real-time system. These are the real-time systems in which the violation of time constraints will cause critical failure and loss of life or property damage or catastrophe. This type of system makes sure that all critical processes are completed within the given time frame. This means that all delays in the system are strictly time bound. The system usually interact directly with the physical hardware instead of through a human being. Deadline in missile control embedded system, delayed alarm during a gas leakage, car airbag system, a delayed response in pacemaker, failure in radar functioning, etc. are the examples of hard real-time system.
What is EDLC? EDLC stands for Embedded Product Development Lifecycle. It is an analysis, design, implementation based problem solving approach for the product development. Analysis: what product need to be developed. Design is good approach for building it, and implementation is to develop it. Why EDLC? It is essential in understanding the scope and complexities involved in embedded product development. It defines interaction and activities among various groups for product development sector. It includes product management, system design and development, system testing, and release management and quality assurance. Objectives of EDLC: the aim of any product development is the marginal benefit. The marginal benefit is usually expressed in terms of return on investment (ROI). The product needs to be acceptable by the end user, that is, it has to meet the requirements of the end user in terms of quality, reliability, and functionality. EDLC helps in ensuring all these requirements by following three objectives, that is, ensuring that high quality products is delivered to user, risk minimization and defect prevention in product development, and maximize productivity. First one, ensuring high quality products. The primary definition of quality in any embedded product development is return on investment (ROI) achieved by the product. In order to survive in market, quality is very important factor to be taken care of while developing the product. Qualitative attributes depends on the budget of the product, so budget allocation is very important, and budget allocation might have done after studying the market trends and requirement of product competitions, etc. Next is risk minimization and defect prevention through project management. Here the PM adds an extra cost on budget, but essential for ensuring the development process is going in right direction. The projects in EDLC requires loose or tight project management. PM is required for predictability, coordination, and risk management. Increase productivity. It is the measure of efficiency as well as ROI. The different ways to improve the productivity are saving the manpower, that is, the productivity of a system is said to be doubled if a product developed by a term of X days or by a team of X members in a period of X by 2 days. Next is the use of automated tools wherever is required. Reusable effort. The work which has been done for the previous product can be used if similarities present between previous and present product. The use of resources with specific set of skills which exactly matches the requirement of the product, which reduces the time in training the resources. Next is the different phases of EDLC. A life cycle of product development is commonly referred as the model. A simple model contains 5 phases. First is a requirement analysis, design, development and test, deployment and maintenance. The following section describes each phases of classic EDLC model in detail. First one, need. Any embedded product may evolve as an output of need. Need may come from an individual or from public or from company. And the product development need can be visualized in any one of the following 3 needs: new or custom product development, product re-engineering, and product maintenance. New or custom product development is the need for a product which does not exist in the market or a product which acts as competitor to an existing product in the current market, which will lead to the development of a completely new product. Next is the product re-engineering. Re-engineering is the process of making changes in an existing product design and launching it as a new version. And product maintenance is the product maintenance need deals with providing technical support to the end user for an existing product in the market. Conceptualization is the product concept development phase, and it begins immediately after a concept proposal is formally approved. Conceptualization phase defines the scope of the concept, performs cost benefit analysis, feasibility study, and prepare project management and risk management plans. Analysis. A requirement analysis phase starts immediately after the document submitted during the conceptualization phase is approached by the sponsor of the product. Here, the requirement analysis is performed to develop a detailed functional model of the product under considerations. During the requirement analysis phase, the product is defined in detail with respect to input process, output, and interface at the functional level. The various activities performed during requirement analysis phase is illustrated in figure. First one, analysis and documentation. It is the activity consolidates the business needs of the product under development and analysis, the purpose of the product. The analysis activities addresses all business functionalities of the product and develop a logical model describing the fundamental processes and the data required to support the functionalities. Next is the interface definition and documentation. The interface definition and documentation activities should clearly analyze on the physical interface as well as data exchange through these phases and should document it. It is essential for the proper information flow throughout the life cycle and define testing plan and procedures. It identifies what kind of tests are to be performed and what all should be covered in testing the product. Next is the design. The product design phase deals with the entire design of the product, taking the requirements into consideration. And it focuses on how the requirement functionalities can be delivered to the product. The design phase identifies the application environment and creates an overall architecture for the product. The product design starts with preliminary design or high level design. Preliminary design establishes the top level architecture for the product, lists out the various functional blocks required for the product, and defines the input and output for each functional block. The functional block will look like a black box at this design phase. Here, on completion, the preliminary design documentation, that is PDD, is sent for review to the end user or client, which comes up with a need for the product. If the end user agrees on the preliminary design, the product design team can be taken the work to the next level, that is detailed design. The detailed design generates a detailed architecture, identifies and lists out various components of the functional block, interconnection among various functional blocks, the control algorithm, etc. The detailed design also need to be reviewed and get approved by the end user or client. If the end user client modifications on the design, it can be informed to the design team through review comments. Next is the development and testing. Development phase transforms the design into a realizable product. Design is transformed into hardware and firmware, and the look and the feel of the device is very important. Testing phase can be divided into unit testing, which is independent testing of hardware and firmware. Integration testing performs the testing after integrating hardware and firmware. System testing, testing of whole system on functionality and non-functionality basis. User acceptance testing, testing of the product against criteria mentioned by the end user or client. Deployment, it is the process of launching fully functional model into the market. Support, which deals with the operation and maintenance of the product. Support should be provided to the end user or client to fix the bugs of the product. Here, bug is the product malfunctioning or unexpected behavior or any operational error. Upgrade, releasing of new version of the product which is already exists in the market, and releasing of major bug fixes. Retirement or disposal, everything changes and the technology you feel as the most advanced and best today may not be the same tomorrow. Due to this, the product cannot sustain in the market for long. It has to be disposed on right time before it causes the loss. EDLC approaches, modeling the EDLC. The term modeling in the embedded product development lifecycle refers to the interconnection of various phases involved in the development of the embedded product. The various approaches adopted or models used in modeling EDLC are: first one, linear or waterfall model; second one, iterative or incremental or fountain model; third, prototype or evolutionary model; fourth, spiral model.